blacktruth.net.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? It's the chef. Cooling right now. Black Truth News. You know what it is.
Hi, my name is R.I.P. Shout out to Black Truth News.
Black Truth News for DJ Paul. Yep.
This is Cliff Star. You know what I mean? Right now you're watching Black Truth News. We tell the truth. Tell lying names. What's up, Black Truth News?
Yo, shout out to Black Truth News, man. It's you, go from Wu-Tang, man. Black Truth News. Y'all already know it.
What's up, this Quan, and you checking out Black Truth News.
Black Truth News, baby. Check it out.
blacktruth.net.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean,
I'm actually recording.
What'd you say?
I'm recording.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, if I don't know how long I'll stay, but
So,
yeah, I'm cool with that.
So, this is the MC/journalist Bear Grizzly Gerard Horton. Hope everyone is well, peaceful, prosperous, putting God first, living life to the fullest. Just want to talk about hip hop real quickly. It's a few things that I just want to go past because people have been texting me and asking me my opinion. The first thing I want to talk about is Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne, Super Bowl. That whole situation. Now, someone's on the phone, so I'm just going to say this. So I'm not just talking to you guys, I'm just talking in general. But I was kind of surprised that, I'm just going to say this. I was surprised that people were disappointed that Wayne didn't get the slot. I didn't think it was that much of a big deal, me personally. First and foremost on it, I understand Wayne's legacy. Don't get me wrong. I know he is what he is. But the surprising thing is that people don't understand that, well, my opinion on it is that I think that Kendrick Lamar is more commercially appealing than Lil Wayne. So I don't know if you agree or disagree with that, but I think he's more commercially appealing than Lil Wayne. And 17 Grammys for Kendrick, 5 for Lil Wayne, and people might, in the hip hop community, might say Grammys don't mean anything, but when you're dealing with that type of event, it's a corporate event first and foremost. It's a corporate event. It's not the Essence Fest. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about billionaires who own NFL teams. We're talking about corporate sponsors. We're talking about ticket prices that are extremely high that the regular person usually can't get in. And we're talking about visually creating a performance and an image that is appealing to those people. And I think Kendrick Lamar is more commercially appealing and more accepted in the mainstream than Lil Wayne. You may agree or disagree with that. People would be like, well, what you saying that Kendrick look better than Lil Wayne? I ain't judging dudes' looks. I'm just saying that it is more appealing to these white folks than having Kendrick on stage and having a hip hop act up there than having him up there and him looking a little bit more clean than Lil Wayne up there with tattoos on his face, and they like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So, truth be told, they don't probably listen to Kendrick or Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the fact that if they're appealing and they got people on there, millions of people to watch the Super Bowl, not just black folks, and they don't care about, they just going to an event where they can make money at, it's a warm state. They don't care that Lil Wayne from New Orleans. That's the last thing from their mind when they was like selecting stuff. You know what I'm saying? And people blame Jay-Z, but I think Jay-Z's role is to get hip hop in there. I don't think that he has to appeal to our culture in that sense of it. I think it's just him getting on the board, and he has to appeal to them, and he has to be satisfied to everybody else. So I think that's number one, that Kendrick is more commercially appealing to the masses. And I think it's evidence from him receiving more awards and him being accepted. And also the content. People don't want to talk about that, but I think Kendrick has more stuff that's a little bit less offensive to people. And people don't want to talk about that, but it is what it is. Even though Lil Wayne can come up with a catalog and he has rapped with everybody, you know, features or whatever, I think that Kendrick Lamar, you know, it's a little bit more offensive. You know, less offensive, I should say. And let's not mention that he had the hottest song this year.
Right.
Let's not gloss over that. He had the hottest song this year. And so it's not like we're talking somebody they just raised from the dead. Dude, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? He had the hottest fucking single this year. So we're not going to, so when you dealing with that element also too, I think he's probably a little bit more relevant than Wayne at this moment, you know? And people not glossing over that. And one thing that made people agree or disagree on it, I think he may put on a better show than Wayne. I saw Wayne at the, I wasn't there, but I saw the video of him at the Essence Fest or whatever. And I saw the pop-out show with Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar put on a great show. You know what I'm saying? You know, just from an MCing standpoint, he's not rapping over his track. He just, his voice inflection, his flow, his breath control is just remarkable. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to him as an artist, if you know what I'm talking about. If you ever been on the stage and you flowing and you rapping, you know, this guy puts on a great show. So, you know, it's just my opinion. I don't got no dog in the fight. If it's my personal thing or whatever the case, like I probably listen to Lil Wayne more than Kendrick Lamar, but I'm just going from unbiased, just looking at it from the outside looking in. If I was Jay-Z, like, well, this guy got the hottest song. He's, you know, he's for the culture, but I think white folks are gonna like him too. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, people don't realize that people have to pay both sides of the fences. So we don't know what, and Jay-Z's unbothered about this shit anyway. All this crying y'all talking about, that man don't give a damn what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, he's just like, like, you know, from his set, huh?
He probably anticipated it. He knew. I think I would gather that Jay-Z knows his people well enough, and from what I have observed about him, whether you like him or not, he is a very, very strategic thinker. He's not something that does something off of impulse. I'm sure that he anticipated like potential, you know, I mean, I'm sure he has his own circle that he talks to, and I'm sure he anticipated some people being upset or wondering why, you know, but I would 100% agree with you. I think that, personally, I just feel like we're in an age where people, if they're fans, you know, if they consider themselves a fan of like an artist over another, you know, their level of loyalty can kind of be disturbing to me at times. Like when something, you know, seems clear. Like I love Wayne. I think that he's typically in my top 10 for like my, you know, relatively modern artists, but he's not, just like you said, he's not at the level of a performer. He talks about not even sometimes forgetting his own lines, like his own lyrics rather, and like it's just not, you know, I understand it, but there's this interesting sense of entitlement towards people, like you mentioned, like a corporate structure, like the NFL, that like they don't care. They don't even understand. Like I saw people in comments who like white people saying they didn't even understand what the issue was. Like that's how divorced from the culture that they are. So why would you think that like the NFL is going to care? And then comparatively, it's like a lot of Wayne's music, we might not consider it as quote unquote vulgar, but it is, you know, to a certain artist, to a certain audience, it's going to be a lot more mature. And, you know, the NFL is like the audience is not us, you know, not the Super Bowl necessarily. So I was surprised. I was more surprised by his response, by Wayne's response, because I figured he'd have fans that would be upset and like, but I was surprised that you know, it seemed to hit him hard. I don't know how authentic that was, or if he was just trying to make sure he had a voice in the conversation, but I was surprised at that.
Yeah, I don't know how he's sitting up there thinking that. I don't know. I mean, I can understand that you will have some anticipation it'd be a good thing for him or whatever, but
Right.
you know, but let's put it this way. Like the Not Like Us song is a pop reference now. Kamala Harris is quoting Not Like Us.
Right.
It's on ESPN. It's on, you know, people who don't, like, I was at the Democratic Party in Chicago and the DJ played and people are crip walking at the party, at the DNC in Chicago.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So when Jay-Z go into these meetings and he's talking, and I'm not defending or rational, I don't even know what this was said or whatever, but he has a reference like, yeah, you know, this candidate just said this, or you know, this, what they're singing now, this him. You know what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with a bunch of billionaires who own these NFL teams. That's who really make the decisions about what they want with their product. You know what I'm saying? So he has to sit in front of them and he has to explain to Lil Wayne, and then he has to show them a visual of what they may perceive as, you know what I'm saying, as like a nigga in the ghetto, like a dude with dreads, no shirt on, tattoos. Like, nah, this is not what we want on our stage at Super Bowl. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And then, I mean, their question is going to be why. Like, what is, like, it would, like, if it was Lil Wayne who had the song in the summer, and, you know, I anticipate, like, soon enough, when all, like, the legal business is, like, straight, we're going to hear Kendrick's song like on commercials and stuff like it's that. I mean, I've seen videos of like random like Korean weddings, like at like Korean wedding receptions, and they're like dancing to that. So
to what?
To Not Like Us, like. Oh
yeah, but you know another thing too, what people don't realize too is what's going to happen. Don't get me wrong, Wayne is who he is. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, and it's not to say that he's not, you know, hip hop is the biggest genre in the world. So to say that certain corporate people, and you know, he's on ESPN, I mean on Fox, and his son, people know him, you know what I'm saying? And they probably know him. But I'm just talking about from a visual standpoint. And then also, too, it's going to be an opportunity because it's going to be people who are going to be like, well, he trending. This is going to be our way to This is going to be our way to capitalize off of him.
That's true.
So he's going to be on a couple of those Super Bowl commercials. Somebody going to drop him a bag to be
That's
like,
true.
you're not in the performance, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be some business people who's going to capitalize on it, and he might be on the stage. Kendrick might put him on there or whatever the case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be fine. Trust me. It's going to be some smart white dude be like, you know what? Let's capitalize on this. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing it, and let's do Bud Light or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And and they gonna know who you is. So he gonna be fine. But I'm just talking about, if you think about the history of performers, you know what I'm saying? People were like, well, they had Dr. Dre and Snoop. Okay, stop there. They had Dr. Dre and Snoop are commercially appealing. White folks love them, and you know what I'm saying. They are. Do I have to explain Snoop on stage? You know what I'm saying? Snoop was at the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Was the ambassador. Snoop brought the torch out for the Olympics. Okay.
Exactly. That's major.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to explain.
With Martha Stewart.
Right. So I don't have to explain Dr. Dre and Snoop and Eminem and 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? So people was like, well, they was in LA, they had Dr. Dre. Well, yeah, that's another level. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And at this point, Kendrick's not at that level, but like I said, he got the hottest song. He's in line with the visual, audio, having hot stuff, and people are gonna, he's gonna appeal to the entire masses. There's gonna be somebody there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand these owners of these teams are 76-year-old multi-billionaire white people. So they're going to be like, have their family there, and Wayne on that motherfucker talking about Amelia. Motherfucker like, what the fuck is on stage? You know what I'm saying? They kids may know, but they wife and they auntie are going to be looking like, what the fuck? Who is this?
What is right, and and it might not mean much to us or much to certain people, but Kendrick has a whole Pulitzer Prize. Like,
that's my point. I didn't want to. Yeah, exactly.
It's a level. That's huge to
listen.
A liberal white, that's huge. That means that they respect your writing, your pen, literally, and in a level that is comparable to who they consider as great.
You see, you know how they had the emoji with the bullseye and the thing. Mm-hmm. That's why I couldn't think of that, but I was thinking of the Grammy, the Pulitzer. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Kendrick is, since his career, he's been he's hip hop or whatever. Like, Kendrick just really, with this song, I ain't gonna say got street cred, but he really got more credibility in street guys or street people, because people ain't really bumping like Kendrick like they would a Lil Wayne. But with the Not Like Us, with a diss song and him this and the other, this is the first time you see people in the hood really just riding around bumping this shit like that. But far as him being critically acclaimed, nah, Lil Wayne can't touch him in that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he got 17 Grammys. His career been shorter than Wayne. He got 17 Grammys and he could pull a surprise. So when you pull his resume out, people are like, oh, this is somebody. Oh, I didn't. Even if they don't know, they'd be like, oh, this is somebody I should listen to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when he come with his actual product and come out on stage, it's in line with what their perception may be. You understand what I'm saying? He's going to come out there and he's going to, content-wise, his music is going to be in line with people going to be like, oh, he's talking about something. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
And what the fuck? Lil Wayne gonna come out there with the Hot Boys and Big Timers and Birdman.
Right.
And no offense, that's our culture. That's where we come from. But they don't want to see.
Yeah.
They don't want to see all that. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know what I'm saying? But that's where he come from. You know, he come from the. You know that, and like that's his music. That's whatever. But Kendrick, like you said, I couldn't say he's critically acclaimed, Pulitzer Prize, multi-Grammy winner. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
And
I don't know. That brings to me like another point. I know, and people might be upset of this, but I feel, and this is not to say like Lil Wayne did not like work hard, but I consider like Lil Wayne to have like genius talent. Like it's not the same. I don't know. I'll put it like this: like with Kendrick, he's obviously talented, but you see that the way that he like works and like invests in his craft and has like whole like themes for his projects, and like it's like I don't know. I feel like with there are some people who have like really great talent, and then they could just actually kind of like produce it, like emote. You know what I'm saying? Like even when he talks, like he doesn't write. Like it just kind of comes to him. He has to go back and like write his lyrics, or he says he has people who do that actually for him. Versus with Kendrick, it's like I almost compare him to like Beyonce in the fact that people who have natural talent, but then they grind and they push their talent like to a certain level because they kind of stay hungry to like improve upon their craft. If that makes sense. I feel like that's a different like either production and like he talked about even how he performs and his breath control. I mean, people talked about how with his last performance, like he barely drank any water for hours and hours. Like it's a different level.
Yeah, his performance to go through those shows. Now, just on the last point you made, that part I'm not going to get into. I'm not going to, because it's comparable, and you know what I'm saying, it's people's personal opinion. I'm not going to get into, musically or, who, because Lil Wayne a beast. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, like really, he gained my attention through his work ethic, because mixtape Weezy is like, that's untouchable. Like the mixtape Weezy era, that's put him, like his albums, like really, I haven't really vibe with him like that, but his mixtape era, just putting out mixtape after mixtape after mixtape and just really killing shit. And I heard Jay-Z say, like, man, that's really when I got on him, when he got one of my beats on his mixtape and just did a better job than me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I agree. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he was doing. He's like, okay, that's your favorite rapper. What's his song? I'm gonna make a better song than he made on his beat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he did that like 2-3 years, and that's, so you can't argue with that. So I'm not gonna really get into, that part of it, but I'm just talking about the aesthetics of it, the way it looks, the way it sounds to people outside of the hip hop culture, the black community who just in New Orleans and thinking that they gonna put this nigga on just because he from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't work like that. So that's why I was kind of surprised, because I'm like, when they said, I could see if they just put, like if they put the Foo Fighters or a rock band, you'd be like, I can understand that, but they got a rapper from our, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and he had the hottest song, so it's just like, okay, so I understand from a legacy standpoint and from the culture standpoint, and it'll be a good honor, and it'll be a good representation to see somebody who really we respect, and who we feel like just repping for the streets and all that, to be on that stage. You know what I'm saying? And I think they will have putting Jay-Z in that regard, like, dude, you know what dude mean to us, you supposed to put him in there. But they don't, and I understand that, but they don't understand that, man, Jay-Z don't give a fuck. Jay-Z is one of them dudes, you know what I'm saying? He more one of them than he one of us now, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, I feel like, I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I would go that far, but
right, okay.
I think because I feel like what Jay-Z is doing, and at first I was just like, man, whatever, white Americans always love black entertainers. You're not doing anything progressive. But I do believe that Jay-Z loves the art form of hip hop. And I do believe that he is basically made a decision to make like black art like the center, and to not like give it credibility because it stands on its own, but to allow like greater international community, not just Americans, to give it the platform it deserves. So I do feel that that's very, very, very culture affirming. So I do believe that like that does distinguish him from the everyday like white billionaire.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I went too far. I did go too far.
You know what I mean? Like I do feel like
I went too far.
But I feel what he's saying. Like he's not gonna care. He doesn't play by the same cultural like rules that people try to impose upon him. I feel like, if that's what you're saying, he surpassed that.
No,
so,
what I'm clarifying,
you know what I mean?
To clarify, what I mean is that he understands their language way more than we do. So he's in the room, so he understands the dynamics of their thinking as well as ours. So he has to, so that's what I mean by that. And I mean, and when I say he's more of that than them, I mean, obviously he's still the guy from the projects. He still makes street music. He still is what he is, but it can't be denied that these days and times he's probably spending more time in those boardrooms than he is in our culture. Although I know he has his ear to the streets, and I know he be really, and everybody who's close to him, or like people who talk to him, like people be like, man, you think Jay-Z don't know what's going on, but he know everything that y'all saying. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
He just ain't commenting on it, but he knows the pulse of our culture in the street and what's being said. So, I'm not taking that from him. But on the other hand, too, he's in there with the white folks, and he has to make those deals, and he has to talk to them and things of that nature. So, I understand that. But, in the end, like I said, I think it'll work out. And then like you said, he's strategic because the Super Bowl is in February of next year. And we're already having a discussion, and it's already a hot topic. So imagine the steam it's going to die down, but once it get around there, people are going to anticipate that almost as much as the game to see what Kendrick look, because he got a lot of pressure on him now. Like, okay, what you gonna do? Lil Wayne ain't here. What you finna do? That motherfucker gotta probably jump out the sky or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Oh well, I'm one of those people who looks forward to the halftime show more than the game. Yeah, sorry to like the football enthusiasts, but
I mean, most people do. So, but and then like at first it was just like you have to be a mega international, pop star, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Rihanna, Michael Jackson, Prince. That was the performance.
Yeah.
So now he's ushering in Usher, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Usher, who's not really on the level of Mike, but it's like, okay, this guy here is credible. We need him. He's going to put on like I said, it goes back to what I said in the beginning. He's visually
Yeah.
When you put him on the stage, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's been happening. And then, you know, like I said, when I should get there, you know, he's repping for the culture. He's gonna put Ludacris on there. He's gonna put Lil Jon on there. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna put.
Yeah.
So that probably what Kendrick gonna do. He's gonna get on there. He's gonna rep for the culture too, also too. So.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a good show.
You know, I can't let you go yet. You know what I'm saying? I can't let you, because I got to transition real quickly to a not so more. I got to go to Diddy right quick because.
Yeah.
You know, I got to go to that. So I'm just going to. So one thing too, rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan, because today was his funeral. Today was his funeral. Such a young man. It's like 32, 33 years old. So. And lost his life. So, you know, resting one time for Rich Homie Quan, the same day that they arrest Diddy. And I don't got, you know, I'm really like, I'm kind of like speechless or whatever the case may. I'm not speechless on it, but, you know, my whole thing with that, and, you know, I was just talking to someone and they was talking about the whole taking down the powerful black men and they not doing white people like that. One element is that, and I understand that, but I also think it is abuse of power, and I think that is natural for all human beings. When you get to a certain level where people are catering to you and being super phony just because of the status you got, it can go to your head, you know. And then if you have someone who has, you know, certain things about them, they're constantly feeding that, and they got people around them to feed, and that's evident from everybody who's coming out now, but didn't say nothing when it was going on. You know what I'm saying? So people was just feeding into that behavior. So that's one element on it. The only thing that I have that kind of goes along with the whole black, you know, bringing down black powerful men, is that the thing that I don't understand and is very vague, and, you know, is the whole RICO thing. And like, okay, like, if he's guilty of these charges, guilty of that, but really a criminal enterprise, 25 to life, and I think that's a shame. You understand what I'm saying? Like, keep in mind, the RICO is for Al Capone, John Gotti. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I don't know the extent of it, but you say it's on that level, but then you just give a press conference and say we found some narcotics and 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Like, really? There's a RICO for that? You know what I'm saying? That's the part I don't get. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I always keep it like, you know, I can't bear false witness. We know he did something. You know what I'm saying? We know that. We saw the video. We know what, you know, we know.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, we know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, you can't, you know. But I just go in when they get up there and the DA and all, and like they really have like, well, it's a ring or this or that. Like, I need more evidence for that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you just saying you got all this and you finna lock this man up for 25 years and he ain't never see the day of light just because, you know, sexual assault. Okay, this and the other. They put the things up there that carries 10 years. And charge them with that, lock them up for that. That's wrong, boom. But the RICO thing, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. I ain't gonna say I can't, but I need some more clarity on that. That's my whole thing.
Right. I understand why why you would feel that way. Like, I don't know very much, and I'm not a lawyer, but with my limited there are two things that this might sound bad, but I don't have a lot of sympathy. Like, let's play the devil's advocate, and let's say that the powers that be were trying to, quote unquote, take down powerful black men.
Right.
In this country. Again, this is probably not going to be popular, but the reason why I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for powerful black men who get caught up as a result of their own indiscretions is because this is America. Like, why, first of all, why is that a surprise? Why is that a refrain? Like, I don't understand why you even compare yourselves to white men or any other man. Like, historically, that is what has happened. So why do you think, like, we're taught from the beginning that we have to, like, you know, work twice as hard or be twice as good to get half as much. Like, that's, you know, like, you have to be more careful or whatever, or even if it's not, because to me, this is not being more careful. This is just, you know, maintaining yourself and having some, like, more obligation to self-respect to humanity. So this is beyond even, like, being more careful or whatever. We're not talking about tax evasion or something like that. But I'm just like, you know the country that you live in. You know there's a target on your back. So why are you, like, complaining about that? I feel like it's it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, it means to me, like, I'm pretending that I don't live in this reality and then getting upset when I get caught in the consequences or ramifications of the reality that I live in. So I feel like, of course, they're going to target influential black people. Your job when you become influential is make sure you don't do anything to the level that they can bring you down. I just feel like that is the cost. That is the cost of achieving that level of wealth and notoriety. That's just the cost. And that's the case in anybody's life, but it's even more so important, you know what I'm saying, for us. That's just what it is.
Well, I can answer that. And I can understand from a humane standpoint and from just humane, not a man or a woman, people not having sympathy, because you could be a woman, but you could also be a man who has a sister or a mother or a daughter who don't want to see that, or a brother, and, you know, allegedly, you know what I'm saying, in these cases. So I understand that, but I can answer about, because what happens is you forget, and then you got to get that nigga wake up call. See, you get to a point where, shit, whatever white folks buying, he buying too. He at the Hamptons, they at the Hamptons, he got a house right next to him. They at the 60th floor at the penthouse in Manhattan, he at the 61st floor. Like, whatever they can get, he can get. He's talking to them, and that's a lot. That's a lot for a brother, when you come from nothing and you, like, you know what I'm saying? But what they do is let you know is like, okay, we gave you that money, but that don't mean you equal to us. So that's the nigga wake up call. So I can understand how people are not black dudes, because power is power. You know, he got white folks listening to him, and he got all, you know, yes sir, no sir, and you know what I'm saying, for many years. He been getting money for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I understand that, because, you know, from an egotistical standpoint, it is what it is. The same way with, you know, the football player got pulled over. Like, You know, you driving a $300,000 car, you start a team, and police pull them over like you're, you know, a nigga from the projects. You know what I'm saying? In front of the stadium, you know? But you get, you know, they make it their business to remind you, like, okay, look, no matter what level we didn't let you get at, because that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? You work hard, you got the talent, but there's a lot of us who got the talent and work hard that do not get to the certain levels that they got to. You understand what I'm saying? So for them to get there, it's definitely some people that opened some doors and done some things. So that's where the conspiracy come in at, because those, when they talk about the gatekeepers and all that, yeah, you done some things, and you didn't learn from the master. They all that shit they convicting you of, they do. You know what I'm saying? They do. They have the same freak off parties. They do the same shit, and you didn't saw that, and you know, it doesn't give you permission to do it, and it, you know, it just comes from a morality standpoint. Like you said, it's like you got to have some type of, you have to stand on something. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money you get. You know what I'm saying? And especially so when you got this skin color in this country. You know what I'm saying? You have to remind yourself of it before they remind you of it. So I understand how you can get to that point where you're not conscious of that. You know what I'm saying? You walking around with 100 million, you gonna tell the police, man, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk to my lawyer. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna forget. Like, you know what I'm saying? Until they drag your ass out the car and be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. You're still in America. So I understand that standpoint, but from your main standpoint, I do understand people like, man, you made your bid and all. You understand what I'm saying? I understand that, and I haven't sympathy, but I do understand how people in his position are not, you know, conscious of that. You know, you got a private jet, you got houses on both coasts, you Italy, Paris, at any day, any time. Yeah, you know, you forget about that, you know, and the thing about it is about humbleness and humility. He got all that, and the top of his thing, he won't doing that. But before he get locked up, he back on the streets on Harlem talking to the regular folks again. Before you get locked up. You understand what I'm saying? So the same people you see on the way up, the same people you see back down, and you go back to the essence now. Now you back to the people who appreciated you before you got these 300-400 million. You understand what I'm saying? Now you back out there talking to the people that you ain't called in 25 years. You know what I'm saying? That you rolled past in your Bentley and didn't say a word to. Or you just rolled the window down and got an autograph. Now you out there shaking hands with the people or whatever. So that's why, you know, that's why certain people, they gotta kill. There's certain brothers and sisters who never forget about the people that, like, you know, this a different level. You know what I'm saying? We gotta assassinate this brother. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because the people know he with them. It ain't about the money. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a different thing. So, you know, and you got people but that's a deeper subject, you know what I'm saying? But I understand what you're saying. But, you know, I just, you know, in the end, I always just tell people I hope for a resolution. I don't wish nobody being in jail for the rest of their life or whatever, unless you Jeffrey Dahmer or somebody, some shit like that, where you just need to be, you're just a threat to society. You understand what I'm saying? But I hope it works out, man, for the victim, their families, friends, the alleged victims, for him, his family and friends, because, you know, I always say I don't get on that train. I don't kick people when they down. I don't be like, yeah, F Diddy and all. You know, if he was a hero then, he a hero now. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I don't get off on that. You know what I'm saying? But if he did something wrong, same way me or you do something wrong, you gotta pay the price. So that's how I looked at it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that's insight. I definitely understand kind of forgetting certain realities especially if they're unfortunate. And I mean, it's happened to a lot of people, but to a lot of black people of influence, black men in particular.
Yeah,
and it's definitely it's definitely a lesson. I mean, I think I've heard like a quote, and I'm like summarizing that, wealth, all wealth does is amplify who you really are.
Exactly.
Amplify your character.
Exactly.
Amplifies your strengths, amplifies your weaknesses. So I mean, this whole situation is sad. Like, I definitely feel for, I don't know. It's just, if what the allegations are true, it just sounds like Diddy went through a lot, spent a lot of money, involved a lot of people to try to hide his demons, if you will, instead of just dealing with them and trying to escape. And I just feel like you can't escape your weaknesses. Like, they're gonna come out, unless you deal with them. And I feel like it's actually more dangerous to have like money and power and influence, whatever you want to call it, to kind of like experience the full extent of like how far you can go with whatever weakness, whatever like debauchery you have, whatever vices you have, versus like those of us who don't have that level of access that he would have. And so it's just like, the sad thing is, I'm sure Diddy had plenty of opportunities to address whatever issues led him to where he is now, and he chose to ignore them. And he involved other people, allegedly, to cover up for him, and intimidated those who wanted to, expose him earlier when it probably wouldn't have had so much of an impact. And like, that's one thing that a lot of people don't get until it's too late. Like, exposure or people calling you out, a lot of times is a blessing. And you think they're not being your friend, or you think that they're hating, or you think that they're criticizing you, or they're tearing you down. And it's actually an opportunity for you to correct yourself and to avoid a lot of trouble or ramifications. But you want yes men around you, or you don't want anybody to ever say a contrary word. And the wise thing is to listen to the truth about yourself, even if it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I don't know, man. I agree totally with what you're saying, because I don't know. You're right. I heard that before. Like, it's just like, it's on the smallest, like, it's scary, because I don't, me personally, I don't know, like, if I'm 21, 22 years old with $100, $200 million,
right,
I don't know if I'm gonna make it to my 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, you know, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like seriously, like it's
No, for real.
like, and I don't know if right now in my 40s if I got 200 million.
You a mess.
Yeah, I mean, like for real, because
I don't know if my wisdom at this level can handle that much.
Exactly, because
responsibility.
Listen, man,
$200 million. That's a lot of responsibility right there.
That's a lot, man. It's like, you know, it you know, and it ain't necessarily mistreating people
right
with that amount of money. It's just the fact that you got it and you got access to everything. You know, it's just like, so from, you know, it's just like having that is just like, man, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Because, and I think you can relate to this, you know, Devil said, yeah, you know, he your faithful servant because he got everything. Talking about Job.
Right.
What if happened if I take it away from him? Well, then what? Will he still be, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to be like, when you got access and to be like, oh, this and the other, but, you know, it's a definitely different level of humility when you just got what you need. You know what I'm saying? You're grateful for more stuff. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, people, you know what? People don't even know how to act when they get their income tax. They be acting a fool then.
Man,
so, you know, you get
for sure.
you get an extra $1,500, $2,000. You want to go get a BBL. You want to go to Miami. You want to drive a car and just like buy the broke down Benz. You know, you just want to act a fool.
Yeah.
So it's hard to people to, you know, be sane with $1,500 more, but you know what I'm saying? 15 million is like, man, I'm about to act a fool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, fuck you, you cool, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
no, for real.
So, I mean, and you know, and that's not like I said, it's not the rationalize, because obviously he hurt people.
Yeah.
He hurted people, you know what I'm saying? And at some point, that's why I said a humane thing come in, because, you know, at some level, at some amount of money, you just gotta, you know, you gotta try to treat people the way you want to be treated. You can't just be like, you know, understand what I'm saying? Like, so when I say that, I'm just talking about, as far as me controlling myself and just acting a fool. But, you know, I just, you know, I just feel bad making other people feel. I just rather not mess with you. I just rather not fuck with you than to try to treat you like a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to. You know, if I don't mess with you, I don't take pride in trying to lessen you or whatever. Just get out my way. Let me do my thing, and I don't have to worry about that on my. You know what I'm saying? On my conscience, I don't want to treat people a certain way. So I mean, that's another. You know, that's another subject. I'm just talking about, you know, having all the worldly possessions at your doorstep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, like I agree with you, not to, you know, like want to minimize, because I mean, like you said, he did something. Like, I mean, it's, and you know, like I'm not even going into detail of my own like kind of personal feelings about. I don't know. My whole thing is there's a whole lot of smoke. I think there's a lot of fire. And unfortunately, I feel like with Diddy, there were early signs of some kind of, I hate to say it, but this like perverse relationship he has with power. I feel like even some of his business dealings, there's just patterns of just going as far as he could and kind of being comfortable with relationships, whether business or personal, that were greatly imbalanced, I'll say, in his favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just power, like I said, the egotistical.
Right.
And you know, you just think about some shit was going on because, well, I don't know, but like, you know, it's just all the people, all the artists they got to go to church fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Like Mace got to go be a pastor, and you know what I'm saying? G-Dep just got out of jail from doing something. Black Rob died. Biggie get killed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Craig Mack, people don't know because it just came out. Craig Mack died from HIV/AIDS, so he was.
Wow.
Right.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so they first said that it was like heart failure, and that was like the politically correct, but then it came out that it was HIV, and he had went to the church and he was dealing bad, and he was saying he was dealing with demons, and you know, you know what I'm saying. So it was saying that he was living an alternative lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, and you know it was weighing heavy on him, and you know.
I mean, like, but you know, like you were saying before, you know, wealth, and that's the other thing, like wealth and influence. I mean, you might say it's not fair, you might say it's whatever, like, it's a lot of responsibility. You can't act, I mean, even more so, you can't act any kind of way. It just, that's the cost. So, you know, I feel like you have to be even more, keep yourself even more under wraps, deal with your, you know, your issues even more so. And that's why, like, I respect, you know, people who have reached a certain level and don't really have a whiff of scandal. You know, they're doing a whole lot of work internally, and like to keep their nose. It's not easy, you know.
It's not easy, man.
It's not easy, and I think, you know, it makes you think. You know, maybe that's why. You just never know. That's why some people don't have, you know, in the great scheme of things, like some people weren't quote unquote blessed with a certain level of wealth because it wouldn't be good for them. Or like the reverse is true. Like sometimes having a lot of money is not necessarily a blessing, or
hey man,
you know.
I feel that way about me someday. Like, man, dude, you don't need no damn money, man. You don't need a whole lot of money, man.
What you trying to tell me?
I'm telling you the truth. It's just like, man, it's like, you know, I'm just saying that me personally, you know, just dealing with a surplus of something is just like, I'm just a simple dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, I don't like a whole lot on my plate. And I like convenience. You know what I'm saying? I like that. So I confuse that sometimes with, and it, you know, money can make you have convenience and access and different things or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to be, you know, because, you know, I have had, you know, very minimum, not to the level of that, but I had like a level of popularity or exposure that I haven't been comfortable with. You understand what I'm saying? I have been in positions where, like, you know, and then hit me, and I was like, oh damn. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm recognizable to this. Like, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that definitely about you. I mean, that's interesting that you bring that up, because I'm someone who never, ever, 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 ever desired fame, and I never thought of it like. But I think it's not because, like, having a certain level of responsibility for, like, maintaining, let's just say, like, a good public reputation, that doesn't scare me. Like, a lot of people don't want fame because they're like, well, I don't want to be anyone's role model. That doesn't bother me. But I think, I don't like the idea of people having access to me that I don't want to have access to me. You know what I mean? I want to be able to retreat without anyone taking notice. But, you know, except the people who really care about me. But I think part of it is what you just, you know, talked about. I mean, I've definitely been in situations, like very short seasons of my life where I felt like I had a certain level of influence in my circle, and it is uncomfortable having eyes on you.
Yeah, I don't.
Like,
it's
not, you know, and to speak to something else, I definitely had a season of my life where, I mean, I had more, you know, I was very comfortable financially. I had more than I needed. And even a taste, like even having a season of my life where I could pretty much like buy whatever I wanted to, you know, at my level, you know what I'm saying? Or like travel however I wanted to, you know, whatever, like I had a lot of discretionary income. And there is a certain kind of weird feeling of like invincibility.
Yeah, right. Like you the shit. You the shit. Like
at a different vibe, like level, even a touch of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I didn't have like yeah. The financial thing I didn't, you know, and you know I'm blessed to be like, you know, I have, you know, a certain level of freedom. Like, you know, when you come, you know, so you come from -0 to be at 10 is, you know, you know what I'm saying? So I, you know, so at this point, if I'm like at a 4 or 5, I'm really blessed right now to like have access to like, oh, I can eat what I want. I can go here. I can take a trip. I could, you know, I could do that at the moment, but I have been above this also too. You know what I'm saying? Where it's been like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, okay, yeah, I could take her out this day. I could take her out Tuesday. I could take her out Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like...
Okay, calm down.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? You got to tell me, like, okay, really? That's what you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's... Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, it's just like no filter on it. So it's just like, you know, I think that, you know, it goes to the saying, you know, God ain't gonna give you nothing you can't handle. So sometimes, you know, so that goes to him too. Hopefully these brothers and sisters and all the people who are going through things, hopefully it's experience that God is putting them through so they can come out a better person. You understand what I'm saying? And they can humble themselves. So that's what I wish for him. And like I said, I wish the best. I try to, you know, I don't get, you know, people, this and the other and this and this why he did. I don't know. I can't get into it. Like I think me and you had a discussion off, you know, off air where we was talking about, I was like, well, yeah, some of these people are money grabbing and all, but you know, it's victims. Just to get it straight, it's victims. It's alleged victims. It's the truth. It's falsehood. You know, when you got these many things working, it's a lot. All that stuff is in play. You know what I'm saying? All of it. You understand what I'm saying? So it, you know.
Yeah, potentially.
Potentially, but yeah, all of it. Everything ain't true and everything ain't a lie. You know what I'm saying? So it, you know, so like you said, there's a lot of smoke and. You know, we don't know. We're not privileged to that. I was just like, why the fuck y'all got 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants, though?
Right. I mean,
what's the purpose of this shit, though? Like, what are we looking at? Why is this warranted to a RICO? Like, you know, that's why I be talking like.
But well, the thing is, but look, to that RICO thing, because you keep you don't. This is my theory. I feel like even when it was used because it's really broad, and it's really broad for
Very
a reason.
broad.
That's why they've been able to use it for, even when they started using it against like organized crime. You know what I'm saying? It was like nothing like that had existed before, so it always was used to catch whoever they wanted to catch. Period. Like people who are powerful. Like, so I feel like what you're thinking that, oh, it's being kind of manipulated or expanded to be able to go after people that they want to go after. What I'm saying, that was always the case.
Right.
And the thing is that now black men have just risen to that level of influence that it's even worse going after them at this level. But that level, if that makes sense. But
it makes sense, and you know what? You gave more clarity with two words that you said more than them. When you said organized crime.
Right.
When you think about it, it's so broad that they can they can shift anything in there. Those two words, like, okay, you're doing criminal activity and you organizing people to conduct this criminal activity.
Exactly.
So that's a RICO. So that's so you kind of switched it for me when you just said that, because that's what they do. They kind of like, okay, you doing some illegal shit and there's multiple people involved in it, and y'all got this shit constructed like a fucking assembly line of whatever it may could be. You know what I'm saying? What if y'all could be stealing shoelaces, and it's you know what I'm saying? But it's five of y'all, and y'all doing it, and y'all it's organized, and there's a criminal, so as a RICO. So we're gonna give you 20.
Exactly. So we can which makes the person, unfortunately, like Diddy, vulnerable, because when you hear about, okay, he had recordings and he made people sign documents and he did that's just, even let's say it's not crime, that's just how his brain works.
Right.
He's a businessman. He's not gonna be sloppy and just be out. You know what I mean? In the sense of, he's going to approach things from a systematic, even if it is crime, even if it is, I hate to say it, sexual assault. Like he's not, you know what I mean? Like, so unfortunately, I just feel like that's why there's so many people who came out now and said, like, well, I saw this, but I was kind of pressured or even like paid or whatever not to say anything, whatever. That's when it becomes organized.
And you know what? Now it's getting more and more clear, because it's like, because I'm looking at it from a very simplified standpoint, which is why it didn't make sense for me at first. So I got a house in Miami. I just met 2-3 chicks in California. I want them to come to Miami for a freak off.
Right.
This is what they called it. This is what he was called. This is what they said at a freak off.
I know. I can't get over that word yet, but it's
right. But this what
that's what it was called. I know.
This is why it's not making sense to me, because it seems normal. Because if I'm an entertainer and I'm rich and I got access, and like, oh, I just didn't meet you in Oak Park or whatever. What's your phone number? I have a conversation with you. I'm rich, so I met you in Texas. It ain't nothing to fly you to Miami. You know what I'm saying? So come to Miami. You know what it is already. You know what I'm saying? You know who I am. You know what I do. Come to Miami. So I didn't paid you. I didn't pay for your flight, or I didn't got somebody else to organize it, to pay for your plane tickets and coordinate you and put you in the hotel that I want you in.
Right.
And then I done took it a level further, according to allegedly, I done paid dudes or paid dudes to come instead of me having sex with. I'm paying dudes to have sex with you, or you know what I'm saying. It's a whole different thing. So to them, it's like, okay. For me, I'm looking at it like I just met a couple chicks and I paid for them to come. To them, it's like, and then I paid, and they was like, they know what it is, but they like, well, shit, we come up there and get in your freak off. We need $2,000. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's prostitution.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, they know what it is, but now it's like, oh yeah, he paid us to do this, or you know, we didn't. Now it's like, oh, he's sexually assaulted. But you knew what it was before he flew here. You know what I'm saying? But now it's a big criminal enterprise. Now it's like, oh, we got pressured, we signed this, and you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it from your standpoint, where it's like, okay, now I'm seeing how they push everything from the RICO. But at first I'm like, I don't understand it now, because I'm looking at it like, dude, y'all know what it is. Y'all know Diddy, this what he do. You know what I'm saying? He just had your friend and she told you what it was, and now you acting like you don't. You understand what I'm saying? So it didn't make sense to me, but now I kind of get how they like trying to justify what it is. You understand? And how he was ignorant to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just fulfilling his desires. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. I don't know. It's, yeah. The sad thing is, I feel like it's gonna get really messy, because it's sensationalism. I think that's why they talked about they didn't have to talk about the bottles of baby oil.
All right,
you know?
Where we going with that?
But it's a headline grabber, and I feel like if I was a lawyer, I would say, you know, it kind of, again, that's a level of organization, debauchery. I mean, that's just nobody needs that much unless you're a factory. And that would probably be part of that would be my argument if I was on the prosecution. Like, what is the purpose of that? It's points to some type of...
It's sensationalism, like you said. It's also trying to give strength to a broad definition of taking a powerful black man down, and also in the court of public opinion, where people are talking about, like, man, this dude here, some creep shit. What do you need all these lubricants for? What are you doing where you need this? Even if you got a staff of people, who does this? You know what I'm saying? So it's just building.
Well, that's what it points to. Like, you got a lot of people involved in whatever, or it suggests that, which is
exactly,
leads credence to what they're pointing to. Like, this wasn't just activity of a man who might have some type of kinks or whatever. This is something else.
And it's really unfortunate, because his low desires put him in that position, but also too, like you said, to go to your original point, this country is able to go to extreme measures and persecute people over stuff that you like, really? You know what I'm saying? And they know they're very intelligent in building that stuff up. And like I said, he's probably ignorant to the extent that it was going to win, but at the very least, he knew this shit wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, Diddy, this shit is, it's not right. But I don't know. Like I said, he pleaded not guilty. We don't know what's going to happen in the situation. You know what I'm saying? We do know, his money freezed up, but we know he definitely got enough bread to pay for them damn lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Because he put up $50 million for bail, or tried to, and they trying to deny his bail. So, I personally think that if they go into a lot of the saying is, when the feds build a case, they don't come to you until they got a case. Do they know they're going to convict you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't. It doesn't look good. I don't think.
Yeah, they don't waste their time. They're not finna get on TV and put all this shit up and do all that. They not finna look stupid. So they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? They gonna on something. You know what I'm saying? So, and they, you know, so hopefully, you know, I don't know. Hopefully, you know, more lives are not destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, hopefully he can learn from it and the victims can heal from it. You know what I'm saying? The alleged victims can be exposed. You know what I'm saying? The liars can be exposed and the truth tellers can be vindicated. You know what I'm saying?
Amen to that.
So, you know, that's all I can say is, you know what I'm saying? I can't, you know, but, you know, I'm going to tell y'all now, though, same way I still will listen to Biggie. I'm still listening to Bad Boy Son. So before y'all get to canceling Diddy and saying I'm wrong, I'm still listening to Bad Boy tracks, okay? I'm still bumping my Biggie. I'm still bumping Black Rob. I'm still bumping 112. Lil' Kim. So I don't know if that's the next move, but I'm not with that campaign. I'm not with, let's get it straight. I'm not riding with Diddy, but I still will bump Bad Boy music, okay?
Okay, well, now that you cleared that, yeah, no, I get that. I'm with that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't erase what people done. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad. You know what I'm saying? His legacy is what his legacy is, and that's what it is. So we can't erase that. Yeah. And actually, shameless plug, I'm actually next couple of days I got some, you know, a write-up and some footage and pictures from the last year's revolt, that when he was actually still the leader of revolt. You know what I'm saying? You know, he sold it. So yeah. It's kind of ironic that it took me all year just because we was at his listening party. You know, he dropped the R.I.P album last year. You know what I'm saying? So
wait, what? Say that again?
Diddy, he dropped the R&B album last year.
You are right, he did.
You remember he was dropping music. I don't know if the actual album came out, but he was dropping music with people, you know, here and there, like an R&B, you know, because you remember he was talking about you remember he started calling himself Love and shit?
Yeah, how could I forget? Because I was like, ain't nobody gonna call you that.
He said, like, call me Brother Love and all this.
Yeah, I'm like, just stop. Please.
Yeah, so he dropped.
Brand already.
Yeah, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Can't take his genius away from him. He like shit. So yeah, call me. He was like, yeah. So he had an R&B album, and it was like a red room of a listening party. I actually put some of the footage on YouTube, and I'm gonna do the write up because we got some pictures or whatever. So it's just ironic. So it's just a coincidence that it takes me so long to get articles done that it kind of goes along with other shit. He's back trending again. It takes so long that I'm so late that I'm on time. Shit.
Make it look intentional.
Exactly. So the next couple of days I will be finishing that up, the last Revolt conference featuring Diddy. But yeah, like I said, I think we can't end it on no better way than, you know, what we just said, that we wish the best for everyone. We don't, you know, I think I can speak for both of us that we're not wishing no harm on anyone, and the people that got harm done to them, we wish them the best and healing and blessings to them, you know.
Well, yeah, a version of that.
Well, that's what I say.
A version of that.
Well, speak your conclusion. Maybe you want to be like, fuck it, like. say what you gotta say in conclusion, because that's how I feel. I don't want to, you know.
Yeah, no. I understand. I mean, I don't know. I'll just say this. I'll just say, listen, if you're out there, and especially if you're talented, please, for the love of God and all things good, handle your internal business. Please. It's just very sad. It's just very sad. Just even if you're not talented, but like, it's just, I feel like it's, I don't know. I do hope he learns from it. Obviously, I hope for like vindication and healing and recovery for the victims. And then everybody gets, even the people who are trying to maybe, you know, come up off, everybody gets what they need for the best outcome. And
period.
yeah, I hope that you know, that Diddy gets the healing and the restoration, you know, and the consequences that he needs to be better, even if it's in an environment that he would rather not be in. But I just, you know, like, for a long period of it, like, it really wasn't until the last couple of days, like, where I really felt bad for, like, I don't want to say I felt bad for him, but I just felt like kind of the gravity of, like, even if he did all of this, like, at one point before all of this, he was just like a really talented, hardworking, visionary black man.
Right.
And like, I know now he probably wishes he could go back and just stay in that lane. So I feel like it's just a cautionary tale. Like, don't, you know, and I don't know if redemption can come from, you know, for him, like, from this, but I just feel like before all this, just because of issues that I care about, I was like, not screw him, but like, he's getting his just desserts, you know? But like, I don't know, just the last couple of days, I've been like, man, like, you know, 20, 30 years ago, he was just a visionary producer, artist, businessman. And he could have stayed in that lane. So, you know.
Yeah. God knows best, man.
For sure, always.
Word. Hey, man. This was, you know, this was everything. So, I'm going to holler at y'all. I actually, by mistake, cut off the first video, and it just kept going, and this has been riveting. But hey, man, like, subscribe, notify, all that. We're gonna holler at y'all, man. You know, stay prayed up, and the best for y'all. I'm holler.